Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this Clash in Paris talking points video. So I feel like this show is a bit of a mixed bag. We start off really well. We do definitely dip. I think the Donnybrook definitely brought people back, but we really do see the crowd get quite burnt out towards the end of the show. And I think that kind of main event match suffers as a result. There wasn't much love in our community in our watch along for the Becky and Nikki match as well. A couple of botches in there, a couple of things in there that we'll take a look at. So, as I said, bit of a mixed bag, but there was definitely good stuff here. And so I'm really interested to know what you lot kind of thought of this show, like what you would score this show. One thing I don't think you're going to see much debate about is the crowd. They were electric, right? As you would imagine, one of the best crowds of the year. And look at this, a massive French flag on display by the crowds. Really, really cool. Even Big E was feeling the love, right?
What? I'm sorry, what?
They love Big E.
We want Big E, as we were just moments away from the show beginning, right? This is how things kind of opened up. So you can see, look at this. I mean, it's so good to have this staging as well. Like, it makes such a difference. And we would even see Pyro coming off the Eiffel Tower, right? Look at that. So good. So good. It makes such a difference. Big Bronson Reed would be the first person coming out with the Shula Fala. Here comes the tribal thief. Out would come Roman. He was wearing two Ula Falas for Afa and Sika, his father and his uncle. They were being represented. The match, this was a really good moment. Superman, bang, look at that, into a Death Valley driver. Really cool spot. I really like that. Roman would go on to get the victory. Really entertaining match. Our community really enjoyed it. Bronson and Roman have got some good chemistry together. Then we had this moment where after Roman would get his shoes back, the Shula Fala back, he would choke out with a guillotine. Paul Heyman as well. Then he would start signing the shoes and throw them out. The shoes, of course, though, were tied together. So one of the assistants had to, like, cut the laces. Liv Morgan said, why is Berkeley just cutting that man's laces like that? So that kind of grabbed Liv Morgan's attention. But Roman was signing the shoes, throwing them out into the crowd, right? I mean, he's got loads of shoes. He never needed them, right? But look at this. Whilst he was doing that, here was Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker, boom! Straight through the commentary table, and the beatdown that followed was brutal. Absolutely brutal. You could see Jelly Roll and Post Malone were kind of sat in the front row, right? So there was Post Malone, there was Jelly Roll. Bron Breakker just came flying and speared Roman through the table. There was Heyman being led away, obviously feeling the effects of that guillotine, right? So he was being led away, but Bron was not done. Bron turned around, went running back, charging down, boom! And now it was brutal. Roman on a stretcher, getting splashed. I thought the match itself was good, and I thought there was some nice moments that were in there, but the beatdown after was brutal. This clearly to write Roman off TV. He's going off to do Street Fighter, so clearly this was to write him off TV. He got the victory, though, against Bronson, so he goes with a dub, but it doesn't feel like a dub, right? And then, of course, they did give us a close-up of Jelly and Post. Backstage, Adam Pearce would tell Bron and Bronson to leave, get out. And they were done. That meant they were out of the main event. They were not going to be able to help Seth. And all of a sudden, it felt like there was going to be a fourth person. So that really took the excitement up a notch or two for our main event, right? We followed that up with the Street Profits, who came down with these Borderland masks. And we had, like, the Street Profits done in Borderlands font. That's what it's based on, the video game, right? You can get a bit of a better idea here. We found out that there is a new Borderland game coming out in, like, less than 2 weeks. Borderlands 4 is on the way, so it looks like they did the tie-in for that reason, right? Then we've got this footage here. So this is actually inside the arena. And here you can see Look at all these people. This is the Wyatt Sicks making their entrance. Look at all these fireflies. And you can see, there's 6 in the corner as well. I never even saw that. And so this is actually the Wyatt Sicks entrance. You can sort of see them there. But fireflies absolutely everywhere. Nikki was wearing a slightly different attire. Slightly different. I've not seen her wear this before. Couldn't get a clear image of it, though, which was a little bit frustrating. But just slightly different. Normally, she wears something a little bit longer and just white. This had like a few kind of logos on. And a few bits. I saw it. It didn't seem to be anything that monumental. Just a slightly changed look for her. Right, yes, definitely teasing another talking point here. Dissension and issues between the Street Profits. We haven't really seen any issues between the Street Profits up until today. We know that Uncle Howdy has been talking about them, talking about this bond not being as strong as what they think it is. So definitely feels like a split is coming. Roman Reigns, SEN saying, well, it might actually happen. I just realised Nikki Cross has not wrestled a single match in 2025, said Wrestle Features. There was also a bit of a botch in this match as well from Montez. Just a moment where he seemed to be a little bit out of position, then all of a sudden seemed to just sort of like throw himself down to the ground so he could be in position. Wrestle Features going, what was that? So just a little bit off here. The chemistry not quite as good as that. Opening match, Sister Abigail on the outsides. Lots of outside interference. We also saw Nikki getting involved as well. So Wyatt Sicks retain, Uncle Howdy and Nikki got involved. So the end result is that the Wyatt Sicks retain. Match you lot said was okay. Didn't love it as much as the first. Wyatt Sicks obviously continuing to be heels. They're not leaving that behind. Howdy getting involved, Nikki getting involved. People in our watch along saying that the Wyatt family were heels as well, and that is true. They were. You know, the Wyatt family were heels, so it's not an issue. It's just obviously a big deviation from Nightbird and when they first came in and they seemingly were trying to help like Alpha Academy and, you know, they were seemingly trying to go after Miz. And so since they've come back, they've started to show a lot of heel tendencies and it doesn't look like we're moving away from those. So it looks like the Wyatt Sicks are remaining heels. That, I don't know how that's going to work with the feud against the MFTs. I mean, the MFTs are not going to be baby faces. So I think there was a real opportunity here for them to actually turn back to faces. We didn't do it. It's not an opportunity we took, right? Next up, we had Nikki in action against Becky. And this is not great. So right here, Bayley is like, fearless Nikki, let's go. Bayley was tweeting quite a lot throughout this show, right? So Nikki would make her way down and she really made this fan's moment. She saw a fan dressed up, look, goes over, gives her a hug. This fan, like, look at this fan, just an absolute mess after that. Just an absolute mess, like, can't believe it. Made her life, right? There's the man coming out. Look at all these graphics and everything. Looks so good. The Eiffel Tower Becky Lynch edition. Lyra Valkyria said, save us, Nikki Bella. Bayley said, Becky, the greatest. Dumber than Michael Cole. So Bayley heard Wade Barrett say that. And she was like, what? You're dumber than Michael Cole. Yeah, this bit here, what are we doing? I mean, Becky is... I don't even know what that is. I mean, there's moments there where you can see that her head is absolutely nowhere near the table. She is just sort of doing this. It looks so bad. It looks so bad. I don't even know. I don't even know, mate. I don't even know. I mean, it just looks really bad. So that kind of was the talking point. And then we got this moment very quickly after, right? Becky goes down. Nikki goes up, goes for a kick. Didn't even look. Becky was nowhere near. And we were just off. The chemistry was just off. It just was not clicking, right? This Jay here said Nikki Bella just tried to kick John Cena in a triple threat match. Right, they're booing Nikki. They were. booing Nikki. This crowd's obviously behind Becky, not really bothering about Nikki in this match. Nikki Bella put on the STF, but it's now known as the Fearless Lock. So here she rolls through, grabs the leg, kind of steps over, and boom, in, on. But it still wouldn't get the finish. Becky did that amazing pin that I love. On commentary, I think they were referring to it as the Lynch pin. It's where she like hooks the arm, rolls over, and then gets into this backslide. She did it at Evolution, and it was really impressive. And it was really impressive here as well. So I really like the finish. Whatever you thought about the match, and our community was not keen on it, but whatever you thought about the match, I thought this pin was really good. And listen, there was a couple of moments in the match as well that I thought were really good. So I wouldn't say it was a complete dumpster fire, but I'm quite confident in saying it was the worst match on this show, right? We did hear from Nikki after. She said, "There's nothing like my Bella army. Your love and support gets me through it all. Fell short tonight, but the beauty in that is that it's only the beginning. It felt so great being out there like that again. Love you all so much. And Paris, cheer or boo, you are all such an amazing crowd. Thank you." So she's even acknowledging the boos that she received. But not a problem. Not a problem, right? Then we went to the Donnybrook match. Now, honestly, at this point, I think people were struggling a little bit. The Wyatt Sicks tag match had been okay. The Becky Lynch match had been underwhelming with a couple of botches. So people were really hoping for something from this, and they did get it, right? This is arguably the best match, or the second best match in my opinion. So we've got the bar set up. There's a Sheamus picture, right? Which is really good. We got the shillelagh. We had like loads of Irish flags and Bulgarian flags all around the ringside area. Wade Barrett, yeah, trying to clear his throat. Don't know if we can hear this. So as soon as the intro was done, Michael Cole was like, "Are you okay?" And Wade Barrett was like, "Yeah, my cough button doesn't work anymore." He's like, "I think after Roman got put through our table earlier, like the cough button doesn't work." I mean, you might have missed that actually at the time. I missed it. It was only when Michael said, "Are you okay?" that I kind of went back and caught that moment, right? Cole said, "They kicked you out of the League of Nations," and Wade said, "It's the best thing that ever happened to me." Rusev trying to block out the Rusev Day chants. This crowd was so good. The table, the bar got tipped over. And actually, I really like this moment by Rusev. He's dragging the bar over, but he's making it seem so heavy. He's like, really trying to pull it over. I don't think it's that heavy. And I think the wood is actually quite thin. But this meant that it felt like it was a very thick, very sturdy bar, right? Because of his struggling to move it. And then we get this spot right here, just moments later. Uranagi. And you can see, actually, the wood is actually really thin. Certainly the bit that Sheamus went through. There's not much room for error there, though, is it? It's not the biggest of bars. So, I mean, putting Sheamus through that, it's got to be pretty bang on. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it all went well. But, yeah, that was a good spot. This was a fun spot as well. An accolade on these barrels. Then, of course, we get White Noise. Bang! Through the tables. White Noise. They snapped into the Slim Jim tables. And then here, a shillelagh in the mouth, and actually gets Sheamus to tap out. I don't know how I feel about that bit. Not a big fan of Sheamus tapping. I think Sheamus should have passed out. I don't mind it ending this way, but the tap is not for me. Rusev picks up the win and makes Sheamus tap out. Flowers for both men. This was one of the most brutal matches ever. I don't think it was one of the most brutal matches ever. I wouldn't go quite that far. I do think it was a very, very good match, and it got us back on track. During our watch-along, I said this got us back on track. Okay, we actually had some announcements then for dates that are coming up in Europe, right? So we are going to be doing a road to the Royal Rumble. This is better, right? Hopefully this means we're not going to do Europe as we head to WrestleMania. The European tour got in the way, in my opinion. So if we're going to go to Europe, do it before the Rumble. Yes, 100%. So hopefully we don't do it between the Rumble and WrestleMania. So Germany, Scotland, Denmark, Germany. So Germany is getting served well here. England getting a few dates. Poland as well. Love that. That's great. I've been to Gdansk. It's a wonderful place. England getting a few bits, and Northern Ireland getting a Raw is a big, big thing for them. So that's brilliant. So well deserved for Belfast. So yeah, very good. Then it was New York Times announcing that Michael Cole is one of the most impactful sports TV voices of the 21st century. So Cole getting his flowers. Then we found out John Cena has had 98 wins at PLEs. After today's match, that goes to 99. So he should break 100, right? But he won't have chance to beat The Undertaker. There's not enough PLEs for him to beat The Undertaker. So looks like Cena is going to finish second on that list. Here's Sheamus saying banger, apres, banger, apres, banger. So there we go. And that's the results of it. We've seen him looking a lot worse after matches, to be honest. But still, you know, they definitely went for each other and, as we said, got the show back on track, right? So that was that. Then we had John Cena and Logan, right? Let's go down on this one. So here we've got Bayley again. She said, Cena Nation, stand up. So there's an old throwback picture of Bayley meeting John, right? The brilliant reaction. The pop that John Cena got. This match for me was good. I was not as giddy about it as other people. I think the crowd make this match, and I think John Cena spams a load of moves, and we saw a lot of social media kind of pop into the Styles Clash, the End of Days. There was a zigzag that was in there. There was lots of moves in here that you don't associate with John, but John was kind of doing them, I think, to show respect to lots of people that he shared the ring with. I feel like that's what was happening here. You know, just as we were going to the after show, Jackie Redmond was talking about this match, and she said for her, this match was all about respect. And so I think this was a respect thing. I think he was showing respect. For me, that is what this match is about. And that's what I enjoyed about this match, right? But I was not as crazy about this match as other people. I didn't feel this was as good as the opening match or as good as the Donnybrook match. But some people thought this was right up there with those. Thank you, Cena sign. We're showing us Cena made his way down. Cena did turn to Logan and said, you always want to go too fast. Logan, I think, was trying to, I don't know if he was like trying to get things moving a bit quicker, but John was just saying to him, like, let this breathe. And then, like, we got the special intro and all that stuff. So 17-time world champ, most of all time, 19th career match in Europe, but the first one in France, seeking his 99th career PLE victory, second all time. We obviously saw that list earlier, right? Michael Cole mentioning Cesaro, I think due to the European uppercuts, actually. So there was European uppercuts in this and Cesaro getting a mention. One thing I've not seen yet is someone detail every move that was kind of in this match. I'm sure that'll do the rounds at some point. Someone will go back and they'll jot them all down. But it did feel like there was a lot of moves that were in here to pay respect to other performers. I mean, even Logan did this, and I don't think I've seen Logan do this before, right? AJ Lee obviously used to do it. Antonio Inoki used to do it as well. The octopus, I think AJ called it the Black Widow. And as I said, it's not a move I associate with Logan. So even Logan was joining in, kind of showing off some of the moves. Logan doing the zigzag. Cena with an End of Days. So, bang. I mean, I really feel like this was the story of this match. Logan got busted open. Angel wings as well. So, Cena did some training with Christopher Daniels back in the UPW days. So there we go. Angel wings by Cena. Again, not a move you associate with him. Cena hitting a code red. Have seen him do that actually earlier this year. Shades of Roxanne Perez right there. Maybe it was a code red. Maybe it was a Pop Rocks. They said it was a code red on commentary. Styles Clash from John Cena as well, right? I can tell you, if you looked on social media for this, Styles Clash was trending, End of Days was trending, like all these kind of references had been picked up on, right? John Cena gets the win over Logan, and then he jumps out, goes over to that kid, the Belgium kid in the crowd. He's got his French merch on this time, and then went over to this lady and started kissing her. And it is his wife, though, so it is allowed. Then he goes over and he gives Jelly Roll and Post Malone a hug. John Cena gets the win. Triple H said, just the greatest of all time. The final 8 is upon us now. Just 8 more dates to go. That is it. 8 more dates to go for John Cena, right? Well, obviously, his attention turns to Brock Lesnar. I mean, what I would say, so main event time, what I would say is no Lana, no Brock Lesnar, no Brie Bella, no Ilya Dragunov, right? A lot of those surprises people were talking about before this show did not happen. In fact, I would go as far as to say pretty much every surprise that people was talking about before the show did not happen. And I must admit, I was surprised at that. I was surprised we didn't get at least one of those names. But we still had the main event to go. Okay, the French commentator got in, right? And he is a big deal in France. We actually, in our Unseen video, saw him get a action figure. So he read out the attendance, which was over 30,000. Seth Rollins says he is already 2 steps ahead. This was just before they started making their entrances. Jey coming out, and it was electric. Seth coming out in these glasses. I have no idea how he could see through those glasses. 29 days as champ, 2nd title defense of this current reign, 13th overall defense of a world heavyweight championship, right? So the visionary, the revolutionary, the world heavyweight champ. Apparently, WWE made more money from this show than Taylor Swift did when she played this venue. So they actually beat the gate. I think she had more people, but WWE charged more money and made more money. So I don't know if we should celebrate that or not, to be honest, but it's an interesting talking point. As was the start of the match. So CM Punk with a super kick to Jey straight out the gate, very much like Shawn and Triple H. Bang. And there we go. Every man for themselves. Later on, we would get the tables. There would be a bit of a nod to the Dudley Boyz. They would get the tables set up, and they would set them up on the outside. Jey would come round, and he would give, bang, the receipt back to CM Punk. And LA Knight was not thrilled about that. LA Knight was trying to get Seth Rollins dealt with. And you've got these two kind of going off on each other a little bit. Tony D'Angelo posted an image from France. And as soon as we saw that, we were like, oh, wow, that surely means he's not going to get involved. If you're about to come walking out and help Seth Rollins, why would you tell the world in advance? So as soon as we saw that, it kind of felt like it was not going to be him. They don't give a damn about you. They're cheering for someone else. That's what Seth said to LA Knight. Yeah, he got knocked into the table. It didn't massively break. It buckled, but it didn't really go like I think they wanted it to. And again, that's a callback. You might remember CM Punk knocking LA Knight into a table. Right here, we got a... big spot. That's what we got. Bang! So, yeah, Seth Rollins getting out the way. And then, of course, we get to the final moments. This match was quite long. Crowd just weren't really there. They were pretty burnt out from everything else. I think especially John Cena. And, yeah, Seth needed some help. It looked like Punk was going to win. And then Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch with a low blow reveals herself to be, we think, another member of the Vision. Apparently, and I didn't pick up on it, but Seth was talking to Punk about family. This is about family. And there we go. And still. So Seth gets the win, celebrates with Becky. She's not wearing a Vision shirt or anything, but I think she might be in that group now. We're going to have to wait and see. But this is immediately where our chat's conversation went to. People now getting very excited about the idea that this could lead to AJ. And it's not hard to see it lead to AJ, is it? AJ Lee coming back, because CM Punk has got a problem with Becky. You know, he's got a Seth Becky problem. So he needs a female partner. I mean, the truth is, he could get Roxanne, right? There's loads of women that CM Punk could go and get. I mean, he's friends with pretty much all of them, right? So, I mean, he's not going to struggle for someone to come and help him. So, I don't know. For me, the AJ Lee conversation, I understand, but there has been no word on AJ Lee. The only thing I'll say is just before we went live, Sean Ross Sapp said, I think it's probably the right time for me to drop something I've been working on. And it was about AJ Lee. And Sean Ross Sapp said AJ Lee's name has been getting mentioned more internally recently. The only thing I don't know is what's that time frame, because I think you would have mentioned AJ Lee since CM Punk came back. Since Punk came back and it's worked really well, would you not have spoken to him about AJ Lee? Because I definitely would have. I would have been like, is there any chance we can get AJ? The fans would love to have her back. We can have her at WrestleMania and we'll give her a good run. And I mean, you would, wouldn't you? I would. I mean, I watched the Royal Rumble thinking AJ might come back. I watched WrestleMania wondering if she would make an appearance. I watched Evolution, the all-women's pay-per-view, and I thought, this is the kind of show that would really resonate with AJ Lee. Is she going to make an appearance? And she didn't, but that was, you know, not likely. That was an outside chance. But I watched SummerSlam, and she wasn't there, right? And so now, I don't know. I don't want to be getting my hopes up or getting carried away. I think there is, I get it. I see the connection. I think there is a chance. But I think equally it could turn out to be Rhea. Kind of helps CM Punk, you know? People are picking up, though, on the fact that Seth was talking about family at the end of this show. And word had done the round beforehand that something big was going to go down at the end of this show to kind of set up WrestlePalooza. I wonder if Punk on Raw is going to talk about needing some help against Seth and Becky and trying to figure out who that should be, and the crowd chanting AJ Lee. Like, you can see a way forward here, can't you? And WWE must know what they are teasing right now. I mean, AJ Lee currently is trending, so they must know what they've done. Surely. Bayley is not thinking about that right now, though. She just tweeted out, stupid idiot. So she was not thrilled at Becky Lynch getting involved. So there we go. We can jump over, though, and have a look and see just what the latest news is. Oh, look at that from Nikki. Nikki tweeting this out. There's the Fightful report. AJ has been brought up in numerous pictures internally as of late. Again, I'm not getting too carried away with that, because if I was working for WWE, I would have mentioned AJ Lee ever since CM Punk came back, to be honest with you, right? Look, Crispy Wrestling saying, please happen. Please happen. So there we go. John Cena insinuates that AJ will not be one of his final opponents, and that is why he paid homage to him by doing the Styles Clash tonight. Tonight feels like WrestleMania. This is an arena, but also a stadium, and the energy in here was crazy. The fans understand, and they are interactive. It's amazing. So there we go. I mean, obviously, as I'm recording this, the press conference is going on right now. So I will round up all the talking points coming out of that. But out of Clash in Paris, I think we've kind of covered everything on that front. So there we go. I am going to do a review video and an opinions video and get thoughts more into that on the second channel. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you thought about this show. I think it's a mixed bag. That's kind of what I got from our community. Some loved it. Some weren't that taken with it. Bit of mixed opinions on the different matches. But yes, I think that there was enough here to make this a worthwhile PLE and certainly worth watching. So there we go. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.